Good morning, welcome to Sky World News. Shamima Begum's husband has told Sky News they both made a mistake when they joined the so-called Islamic State. From inside a Kurdish detention centre, Yego Radic claimed that in his several years in Syria, he only ever fought in one battle and fled the last pocket of resistance when food became scarce. And while the Dutch national says he understands why people may not believe him, he says his wife isn't a danger, but rather a young, naive girl who fell into a trap. He spoke to our Middle East correspondent Alex Rossi in northeastern Syria.
Tell me about Shamima Begum. When did you meet her?
I met her in Raqqa in I think 2015.
And I'm joined now by former naval intelligence and foreign policy strategist John Jordan. John, thanks for joining us this morning. So firstly, have we heard anything new from the interview that Yego Radic, Shamima Begum's husband, has given?
No, what you have here is a very sympathetic but self-serving statements of an interested party. And at a very minimum, you are a potential threat coming back, and you may, in fact, be a sleeper agent. And you can't discount that possibility.
And President Trump is saying that the UK and European countries should take citizens back, and he's actually threatening to release around 800 fighters. How likely do you think it is that he would do that, and what would the impact be if he did?
Well, it depends on how you take them back. If you bring them back and there's some method of vetting them overseas prior to bringing them back, you might mitigate some of these risks.
Two British families have been left devastated after their 17-year-olds were stabbed and killed in a weekend of violence. On Saturday, Yusuf Ghaleb Maki was killed on a street in an affluent neighbourhood of Greater Manchester. And just 24 hours earlier, Jodie Chesney was stabbed in the back by a man who simply walked up to her and her friends in East London and, without saying a word, attacked her. Sky's Emma Birchley reports.
One girl, one boy. Both aged 17, living in opposite ends of the country. Both stabbed to death within 24 hours of each other.
In other news, the Novichok poisoning in Salisbury had a huge impact on the city and the county's police force. A year on from the attack, what lessons have been learned and how is the city recovering? Our crime correspondent Martin Brunt reports.
The core duty of the police is to protect the public. That includes former spies like Sergei Skripal.
Let's have a look at the stories making headlines around the world. France's Libération leads with news of a resurgence in the global trafficking of counterfeit drugs and health products, which it says make up as many as 1 in 10 drugs sold worldwide. This is Sky News. Coming up in the sport, all the key moments from yesterday's Premier League fixtures, as there's a twist in the title race.